It starts the same way every time. A locked gate creaks open after dark. A flashlight beam cuts through dust thicker than fog. And then, something moves. Not a shadow. Not wind. Something that remembers the pain. These are 5 apparitions reported from abandoned hospitals, places built to heal that became tombs, all animated from witness accounts, security footage descriptions, and historical records. None of them have been explained. Waverly Hills, once a tuberculosis sanatorium. Over 6,000 people died here between 1926 and 1961. Most were carried out through the body chute, a secret tunnel so families wouldn't see the hearses. In 2006, investigators set up cameras on the 5th floor. At 2:47 a.m., motion sensors triggered. The footage shows a figure in white, nurse uniform, cap, old style, walking slowly down the corridor. She pauses at each doorway, as if checking on patients who haven't been there in decades. Then she turns. Her face is blurred, but the eyes, they lock directly on the camera. The figure raises one hand, like she's about to speak, and the feed cuts to static. Security guards who reviewed it later said the same thing. She looked tired, like she was still on shift, and couldn't clock out. Linda Vista closed in 1991. It treated gunshot victims, gang violence, overdoses. Many never left the table. Paranormal teams in the early 2000s captured something in the old surgery suite. A small figure, maybe 7 or 8, sitting on the edge of the operating table. Bare feet dangling. Hospital gown too big. She swings her legs slowly, like she's waiting for the doctor. Investigators called out, "Are you lost?" The figure stops swinging. Her head turns. Too fast. Unnatural angle. No face. Just a dark oval where features should be. Then she slides off the table and runs, not toward the door. Straight through the wall. The sound? Bare feet slapping tile. Then nothing. But the EVP picked up a child's voice, very faint. They said it wouldn't hurt anymore. Designed for 250 patients, held over 2,400 at its worst, lobotomies, hydrotherapy cages, electroshock without consent. In 2019, a night watchman doing perimeter checks saw lights flickering in the east wing. Abandoned for decades. Through binoculars, a man in a white coat, stethoscope around neck, walking methodically from room to room. He'd stop, pretend to write on an invisible chart, then move on. The watchman radioed it in. No one else was inside. When he entered later, the coat was still warm, draped over a broken chair, but no one had been there in years. The apparition never looks at anyone. He just continues rounds, as if the patients are still screaming behind those doors. Penhurst, opened 1908 as a school for the feeble-minded, became a warehouse for unwanted children and adults. Abuse, neglect. Hundreds died from untreated conditions. Explorers in 2015 entered room 417, marked with warnings not to enter. Their body cam caught a man sitting upright in the old bed, pale, thin, staring straight ahead. He wore a grey institutional uniform. No movement, until one explorer whispered, "We're leaving now." The figure slowly turned his head, mouth opened. No sound at first. Then a single word, rasped, "Stay." The team ran. Later review showed the bed was empty in every other frame. Only in that exact moment, he was there, still waiting for someone to care. Alexian brothers. Psychiatric wing notorious for one patient in the 1970s, an exorcism case that ended in tragedy. The wing was sealed, then demolished. But before that, nurses on the last shift before closure reported the same thing. At exactly 3:07 a.m., footsteps in the empty hallway. A woman in an old nurse's uniform appears at the nurse's station. She checks charts that aren't there, then walks toward the sealed rooms. One orderly followed her once. She stopped at the door of the exorcism patient, pressed her palm to the wood, whispered something no one could hear. Then she faded, starting with the hands, like the building was erasing her last duty. To this day, people who drive past the old site at night claim the third-floor windows still glow faintly green, as if someone is still keeping watch. These hospitals are gone now, or mostly gone, but something stays behind. Not angry, not vengeful, just unfinished. If you ever find yourself near one after dark, don't go in, because they might not let you leave the same way you came. Subscribe for more chilling tales, and turn on notifications. You never know what might appear in the next frame.